if you just confirm your name on the screen is correct and tell me who you're representing here today. So see that we have Steve, is it Ruby?
Reevy.
Reevy? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Welcome. And
Thank you.
looks like you are the applicant on the project. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Welcome. Are you expecting anyone else to join us here today on the applicant owner side for this project?
No, I am not.
Okay, fantastic. We also have Emily A. House here from the planning department. Welcome, Emily. And let's go ahead and get started. I need to read through our hearing script. This will just cover the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll begin. This is the September 4th, 2024 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. The case before us today is case number ZH20240104. That's 312 Joselin Street or Joselin Avenue. Purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any potential opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If we did have anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. I will hear from the planning department if they would like to provide any testimony in addition to their staff report. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that testimony offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those issues on the fly, but to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay, last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So if you intend on providing testimony, here today, if you could raise your right hand. The zoning code requires that I swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, Mr. Ruby,
Yes, sir.
if you're ready to proceed, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you. The girl sorority at this location asked me to install a 10 by 18 PVC plastic pergola on the patio that was already in place on their side yard, and there was the setback from the property line wasn't according to code, so we were just trying to apply for a zoning variance so that we could install this pergola.
Sure. Could you tell me more about the dimensions and setbacks of the proposed pergola?
Presently, it's 3 feet from the property line.
Okay, and is this the patio on the east side there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Matt Lashide, he isn't present, correct?
He's not. Emily is standing in
Okay.
for him today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, yes, that's what the proposal was, to still construct this pergola on the existing patio.
Got it. So asking for a variance to locate the structure in a side yard and also to locate it, is it 1.3 feet from the property line?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is an open air structure, just like a
Yes.
roof type structure?
It's a 4-post structure, and then on the top it just has trusses, so to speak, plastic trusses, maybe a foot apart. There's no roof on it. It just would allow the sun to come through, or depending on where you're sitting. prevent the
Got it.
sun from coming through.
Got it. Okay. And how tall is the proposed structure?
8 feet.
8 feet. Okay. Right. And will it cover the entire patio there? Is that about the size
It's
of it?
about the size of the patio. That's why the sorority ordered that size pergola.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell me about it, the project now?
No, I mean it's the sorority house. You know they really have a nice looking property, and I think this would be a nice addition to it. They keep the landscape up real well. They just painted the brick on the building a couple years ago. It's a real nice building, and it's nice to see how well they maintain it.
Got it. Okay. All right. I think I'll turn it over to planning. Um, Emily, anything you wanted to add to the conversation here?
Yeah, I think Matt Lascheid's staff report really sort of clearly lays out our rationale for recommendation of approval. This is a unique property in that the building occupies almost the entire site. So this is really the only location that they can place any accessory structure in order to have some covered outdoor space. It's of a reasonable size. It meets the height requirements, and in order to maximize the usability of the structure, it is slightly larger to the property or slightly closer to the property line than is permitted. So it requires that 1.7 foot setback variance.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thanks, Emily. Mr. Ruby, anything you want to say in response to Emily's comments or anything else?
Did Emily say 1.7? Was it 1.3? Was it 1.3, 1.7? I'm sorry.
Yeah, my understanding. Well, go ahead, Emily. I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah, it's 1.3 feet from the property line, which requires the variance of 1.7 feet. So it's 3 feet from the property line is what's required.
Okay. So so from the property line, the structure has to be 3 feet.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the regulation.
Okay.
Is there also, Emily, a regulation that it can't be located in the side yard at all?
That is correct. And this is kind of unique because if Joselin was a full 21-foot wide street, this would be the rear yard. But since the Joselin frontage is smaller, that's an alley, or Joselin Alley, sorry. If you're looking at the aerial. So typically this would be what would be considered the rear yard, but since that's not a street, Joselin is the frontage. And so the only place to locate it is the side yard.
Got it. Thanks. Mr. Ruby, did you want to add anything else?
I was just, I'm still a little bit unclear as to, is it, we're throwing up the number of 3 foot and 1.7?
So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so 3 feet is the standard.
Okay.
3 feet is one of the reasons we're here, is because this is within the 3 foot side yard setback that's required. So the variance length, or the difference between what you're proposing and what the standard is 1.7 feet. But according to the plans you submitted, the structure will be located 1.3 feet from the property.
Okay. So the 1.3, so that's like, are we calling that 4 inches then?
I think so, right? Is that
I think the 1.3 is what you're
approximately?
Yes.
is where you want to put it. And they're saying this adds up to the 3 feet. So the variance, they're giving you a 1.7 allowance, kind of the variance. Yeah.
So that's what it has to be.
That's why I think the 1.3 is what where you were putting it. So if they allow you that, that's just the amount that equals up to the 3 feet. So that's the variance because
Okay.
you are offsetting it somewhat.
Okay.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah. Okay. My architect is with me, and she gave me the answer to that. The 1.3 and the 1.7, which equals the 3 feet.
So the 1.7
Yeah.
is the
Okay.
the forgiveness that
Right.
they're giving you. Yeah.
Okay.
In that calculation, that 1.3 is based on the plans that were submitted. And
Right.
so
Right.
whatever, if approved, whatever is on those plans is what will need to be constructed, or they'll need to be, the pergola will need to be constructed in accordance with the measurements on those plans.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to say on this, Mr. Ruby?
No, I'm
in terms
fine.
of-
No, I'm fine.
Okay. All right. So I think we can leave it at that. I've had a chance to review the application materials and the plans and the staff report, and I think based on that and the testimony, that this is a reasonable project, and it is appropriate to grant a variance here to
Okay.
construct the pergola. So I'm going to approve the application. I need to formalize that decision in writing. And so
Okay.
I mentioned at the beginning that typically takes about 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think that's probably a realistic expectation based on the current queue of cases that I have. And so as soon as I finish that, I'll put it into a PDF and I'll email it to everybody who's in the hearing here today. So you all have a copy of it really just moments after it's complete. Mr. Ruby, as soon as you have that, Emily or likely, I assume, be Matt, we'll be able to approve the zoning permitting on the city's end, and you can take the next steps.
Okay. Great.
Any questions about any of that?
No.
Okay, great.
David,
Well,
Emily, I really appreciate it.
sure, absolutely. Thanks for your time, your testimony here today. Good luck with the project, and